Thanks for tuning in. Ham Talk Live will be on the air shortly. Please stand by. Thanks for tuning in. Ham Talk Live will be on the air shortly. Please stand by. This episode of Ham Talk Live is brought to you by Tower Electronics. For cables, connectors, and more, call 920-435-2973 or visit pl-259.com. And by the Ham Station. Get your new radio or antenna by calling 800-729-4373 or go to hamstation.com.
It's Ham Radio.
Good evening, everyone. It's Ham Talk Live, episode number 62, the Spurious Emissions Band, recorded live on Thursday, April 27th, 2017. I'm your host, Neil Rapp, WB9VPG. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Ham Talk Live. Tonight we continue our Dayton Hamvention preview, as we'll be joined by the Spurious Emissions Band, and we'll take your calls live in just a few minutes. Last week, on our second preview show, Carol Perry, WB2MGP, was here to talk about the upcoming youth forum at the Dayton Hamvention. And if you missed that show, you can listen anytime at hamtalklive.com or on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, SoundCloud, or on YouTube. And so tonight does continue our official countdown to Dayton, as we have a series of previews of upcoming events at Hamvention and around Hamvention. And Radiowavz has graciously allowed us to give away a DX80 off-center fed dipole to one lucky winner each week. So later in the show, I'll give you a chance to call in and win. So be sure to listen to the show live whenever you can. And congratulations to last week's winner. It was JD in 0 IRS. So he'll be receiving his DX80 direct from Radiowavz. So congratulations, JD, and thanks again for calling in last week. Well, there's a lot going on Hamvention weekend that we're not going to have time to do shows about, and we may schedule some of these next year, but the QRP community has 4 days in May prior to Hamvention, and then there's Contest University that you heard about 2 weeks ago that takes place the day before Hamvention. But let me do a couple of quick plugs here. First, Carol Perry mentioned last week, and we ran out of time to talk about it, that the forums, especially hers, they have to start right on time. And since it's a new venue, new buildings, and new traffic patterns and everything, it may take a little longer to get to things on time. And so you want to plan early and get there early so that you can get there when they start, because they will have to start right on time. And there's so much to do in such a little time, that she's got to do that. So make sure you leave a little early. And also we want to mention again the open house at the Voice of America Museum of Broadcasting on Friday night and Saturday afternoon and evening. Check out voamuseum.org for that information, or wc8voa.org. And they'll tell you all about that. And also, we have that on our social media site, so that's a great evening activity to go to, as well as many others that are listed over at Contest SuperSuite.com. And there's some contesting and DXing events going on, so you can find all that information there. So make sure you check that out. And one of the things going on in the SuperSuite is a concert And that's going to be given by our guests tonight, the Spurious Emissions Band. So get your questions ready to go. We're going to do the interview with the entire band. And we actually pre-recorded that a few weeks ago when they were all together rehearsing. So a little different tonight. Part of the show is pre-recorded, but a couple of the members are here live, and I hear one of them in the background. Hi, Ward. I haven't even had time to say hi to you. But anyway, they're waiting here, so as soon as we finish playing the interview and take our break, we'll come back, and then we'll give you a chance to talk to Ward Silver and Kirk Pickering. They're here tonight, and ask your questions, and you'll also have a chance to win one of those dipoles. So the phone number, so you can get your dialing fingers ready, is 812-NET-HAM1. That's 812-638-4261. Or you can call us on Skype. It's just Ham Talk Live on Skype. You can also tweet us. Our Twitter handle is @HamTalkLive. So get a hold of us, and we'll give you a chance to call in and win in just a little bit back. So I'll be back with the Spurious Emissions Band right after this word from Tower Electronics right here on Ham Talk Live. This episode of Ham Talk Live is brought to you in part by Tower Electronics. Tower Electronics has been the Ham's dime store since 1978. When you need connectors, mobile and handheld antennas, cables, or adapters, visit Scott or Jill at a Hamfest near you. Or you can order online at pl-259.com or call 920-435-2973. Stock up on those supplies like PL259 and N connectors, SMA adapters, audio cables, soldering supplies, mobile antennas, and ham sticks. Their silver-plated N connectors are even used on the International Space Station. Tower Electronics carries MFJ, Comet, Daiwa, OPEC, Workman, and Ham Pro products. And don't miss their 0% off sale going on now. Tower Electronics, online at pl-259.com, proud to sponsor this episode of Ham Talk Live.
All ham, all the time. Ham Talk Live.
Thanks to Scott and Jill at Tower Electronics for sponsoring the show tonight. To help bring you Ham Talk Live, they're at Gainesville, Florida on Saturday. May 6th, they'll be in Cedarburg, Wisconsin, and May 7th in Sandwich, Illinois. And, of course, May 19th through the 21st, they will be at the Dayton Hamvention. Or you can give them a call at 920-435-2973 or visit their website, pl-259.com, and tell them you heard it on Ham Talk Live. We're on the air every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, right here at hamtalklive.com. And if you miss the show, we have an archive. You can go to hamtalklive.com and listen anytime, or you can download it from most of the popular podcasting websites. Well, a few weeks ago, the Spurious Emissions Band met for their annual rehearsal in preparation for their concert at the Dayton Hamvention. After the break, we'll be joined by some of the band members to take your questions live. But first, the interview segment tonight was pre-recorded as the band was rehearsing, so we could bring you all the band members at once. So thanks to Sean Kutzko, KX9X, who is the drummer in the band, for taking care of the Skype duties and making the recordings at the rehearsal so we could get some better sound quality for you. And you'll have a chance to listen to a song or two, maybe. Pink Floyd, the Rolling Stones, Peter Frampton, and the Eagles are all but a few of the famous bands that haven't been the opening act for the Spurious Emissions Band. So let's go ahead and get to that interview, and we'll be back in just a little bit. Welcome back to Ham Talk Live. Tonight, our guests are the Spurious Emissions Band members. Normally, I read a bio of everybody, but it wouldn't be a true band interview unless we weren't around and let everybody introduce themselves. So, guys, let's find out who the members of the Spurious Emissions Band are.
Hi, I'm Inky.
I'm thinking.
I'm Nod.
Is this on?
Yeah. This is Ward N0AX.
Hi, I'm Sean, KX9X.
Scott, W4PA.
Kirk, K4RO.
Okay, now tell us a little bit about the day jobs here, a little bit, so people can associate those call signs with who you are. So,
Okay, well, N0AX and editor for the ARL, handbook, antenna book, ham radio for dummies, license manuals, Mr. Guilty Party when it comes to information. So that's what I do. That's my day job, and glad to do it.
Sean, KX9X. I'm the Media and Public Relations Manager at ARRL, creator of the National Parks on the Air program last year, avid backpack QRPer, and satellite operator.
Hey, I'm Scott, W4PA. I'm the owner of Vibroplex and International Radio and Venture and Vintage Manuals Incorporated, and we distribute several other lines of amateur radio equipment in the United States, in addition to the ones we manufacture.
And I'm Kirk. I don't know what to say here. I'm a 30-year IT veteran and still do a lot of Unix system administration for a day job. And I'm a huge fan of old-time string band music. I play fiddle and mandolin and banjo and other things like that, pursuing that love.
very good. Well, let's talk about the weekend job here. The Spurious Emissions Band, you guys started up back in 2010, if I read correctly here. Tell us how the band got started and how it came about.
This is Ward N0AX. Kirk and I were just playing around at the Dayton Hamvention. Kirk brought his mandolin a couple times. I started playing mandolin, and so we just started hacking around together. And then Scott brought a guitar, and we started playing in a hotel room, and we all like bluegrass, Grateful Dead, rock and roll, and at some point the idea of playing some songs in the SuperSuite hatched, and nobody stubbed it out quickly enough, and so it sort of got legs, and I wrote a couple of songs, song lyrics, mangled some song lyrics for Your Lion Eyes by the Beatles and stuff by the Eagles, and Beatles tune or two, and so we just kind of wandered into the SuperSuite one time and banged on a beer bottle until we cleared out enough sonic space, had an audience of about 8, and played away, and that was the start of it. And now we play once a year, Friday night, Crown Plaza Hotel, and we have our annual rehearsal someplace. It's been at my house, and this year it's at Kirk's, and we're having a good time, and when it stops being a good time, we'll probably stop doing it, but for now, it's fun.
All right, next question here for you guys. How do you come up with the lyrics, and who does that?
Well, mostly it's me, but Sean's done 1 or 2 or 5, and Kirk's done a couple, and people contribute some. We played songs by K1DG, and Andy, N2NT, was the guy who really gave me the idea back in the 70s. He was mangling songs like Feelings became Field Day, and Simon Garfunkel's The Sound of Silence became The Sound of DX, which we've done. And but the guys, everybody pitches in, and I throw something out there, and they help modify it, actually get the chords right, and that sort of thing. I'm doing all the talking here. Why don't you jump in, Sean?
Well, it's been... I've always had an interest in changing lyrics to songs since I was a kid, and I think that that's something that you're either predisposed to or not. So the idea of coming up with new lyrics for existing songs, I think a lot of us here in the group have been doing that for quite some time. The transition to doing it for ham radio stuff, I didn't pick up on that until I was asked to play drums with this group, and after that it became pretty easy to hear songs that I liked and changing the lyrics around to reflect ham radio topics.
It's pretty addictive.
It is, and it's fun. It's fun to take existing songs and change the lyrics around to reflect this community a little bit. And it provides a way to have some comedy and make some commentary on some things that are going on that we may not necessarily have the ability to do in other venues. So,
yeah, i.e., we'd be chased out of the room if we said it. Seriously.
And maybe also whether or not you're a fan of Weird Al Yankovic or not. Is that?
Oh yeah, Weird Al.
Does that figure into that?
He's kind of the godfather of all of that. So.
Tom Lehrer.
Tom Lehrer is another.
Tom Lehrer, yes. I have a fondness for Tom Lehrer because of the Element song. So it's just the names of the chemical elements. So yeah, sounds great. Maybe we can get Weird Al to pick up one of your songs. You think that would work?
I think his audience would find us kind of limiting.
Yeah, I think that would be detrimental to his career.
All right, so can you tell me what? Can you give me a little sneak peek here on this year? What new songs you're working on?
Well, normally we like to keep that stuff kind of close to the vest. We like to make sure that we keep our audience guessing as much as possible. But we're working on I don't know. We're reviewing about 14 or 15 new songs this weekend. And,
let's see. We can say the group. So we have some Little Feat numbers. We have Gordon Lightfoot in the can, Jimi Hendrix, the band, Bob Dylan.
This is Scott, W4PA. Let me interject something about how we do this. The formula that we've settled on is to play half of stuff that we've done previously and half new tunes. But the new tunes aren't necessarily agreed on in advance. Like, we have a bunch of songs we've been playing, but only a few of them will actually end up being the ones we really play at the show because they either work or they don't work.
Right.
And we've found, after having done this for several years in a row, that we don't know which those are until we actually get together and play them as an ensemble. I mean, sometimes we have an idea that sounds like it's hilarious and a great idea, and then we try to play it and can't do it, or it just doesn't work. So what we'll do is we'll play these 14 or 15 songs, and then half of those perhaps will be half of the set, and then the rest of it will be ones that we thought were really good from times past. So we don't play the same thing over and over again. Keeps it fresh for everybody.
Like Kirk is fond of saying, there ain't no money to be made above the first fret. So we have to keep things simple because we only play twice a year. Once for rehearsal and once at Dayton. So it's got to be simple. Kirk's our sanity monitor here, and so we keep things straightforward and they sound good and everybody laughs. Then we'll put them in the book.
This is rock and roll. I'm only here for the money and the girls.
Same as ham radio.
Yeah.
The money and the girls.
Yeah.
All right. Now, speaking of the girls, are we getting some guest vocalists again this year?
We are. We have several guest vocalists that sit in with us from time to time. A couple years ago, Becky Schoenfeld, W1BXY, the managing editor of QST, joined us for a couple of tunes and did background vocals. And she will be returning to Dayton this year, and she will be doing background vocals with us and working on at least a couple of tunes that feature her in the lead vocal spot. So you'll have to come out and check that out. Katie Allen, WY7YL, has joined us in the past. She's done a couple of Jimmy Buffett things and some Neil Young stuff on the background vocals. So there are guest artists that join us from time to time.
Yeah, we have 2 or 3 people that might show up that can't play with the band all the time. K0BJ and 50T and his wife Kathy, Cookie Scholl, Val Hodsfeld, NV9L. It's sort of a Sly and the Family Stone kind of thing. It's like whoever shows up and can make the bus to the venue, is in the band. It's the kind of thing. So anyway, it's a bit of a pickup, but yeah, it should be fun, and everybody has a good time, and then goes and eats pizza, and life is good.
So, for people who haven't been to one of your concerts, can we fill people in on how they can attend this?
Sure, it's free to get in, $5 to get out.
No, it's held at the main ballroom at the Crown Plaza in downtown Dayton. It's at 10 o'clock Friday night of the weekend of the Hamfest, and there is no admission charge. Just walk through the door and into the lobby and off to the left.
Requests are taken on $100 bills, and we do ignore them.
The request, not the $100 bills.
Yes.
Right. Yes, I have one of my liners on the show here is that at Ham Talk Live we have the $1 million request guarantee. That if you give us $1 million, we'll take care of your request, guaranteed.
We'll try to work it in. That's right.
All right, very good. Well, free admission, $5 to get out, and maybe worth the money. I'm not sure. So we'll see how that goes.
If you don't like what you hear, your money will be cheerfully refunded.
Well, anything else you want to tell us here before we take a break?
What I'd like to get in is we'd like to say thanks to DX Engineering for sponsoring the stage. They are responsible for the providing the sound equipment and the stage for making this happen. I think this is the third year that they've done this now?
Yeah.
For the sound equipment, so thank you very much.
Yeah, Tim Duffy has been a big fan of the band and has encouraged us to keep coming back and really put in a lot of energy into making all this happen. So thank you, Tim.
All right. Well, we're going to listen in to a song or two from the practice session. So it's the Spurious Emissions Band right here on Ham Talk Live.
Okay.
All right. Guys, this is going on Ham Talk Live, and this is going to be a big record contract for us. It's riding on the line. We got to make this good.
All right.
We're just hoping for that big gig one of these years where we get enough money to buy Scott new strings for his bass.
That's right.
We'll put a tip jar out.
That's right.
Thank you.
New strings for the bass player, please. $1.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Well, we're big contesters, and our stations are the besters, and we work everything we hear. Yeah, we work them on code, and we work them on phone. We can keep code really by ear. We've developed our skills, give us all kind of thrills, but the best thrill we
Guys, thanks so much for coming on the show and sharing your talents with us tonight, and have a great time with the rest of the practice. It sounds like it's off to a good start, and have a great show again at Dayton this year.
73s.
Thanks, Neil. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
All right, and we'll be back to take your calls live with some of the members of the Spurious Emissions Band right after this on Ham Talk Live. You're listening to our Dayton Hamvention preview shows here on Ham Talk Live. Every show from now until our live audience show on Hamvention Eve, we're giving away a DX80 off-center fed dipole courtesy of Radiowavz. So be sure to listen to the show live each week and listen for instructions on how you can call in and win from Radiowavz and Ham Talk Live. Check out the custom-built antennas and pre-made antennas at Radiowavz.com. That's Radiowavz, WAVZ.com. And thanks to Radiowavz for their gracious donation of prizes to the show.
This episode of Ham Talk Live is brought to you by The Ham Station. For over 37 years, The Ham Station has sold new and used radios, antennas, accessories, and equipment to hams everywhere. Give Dan or Jeff a call at 800-729-4373 or order online at hamstation.com. Ham Station carries all the major brands like ICOM, Yaesu, and Kenwood, and they have a wide selection of radio scanners, MFJ accessories, Heil sound products, amplifiers by Mirage and Ameritron, Cushcraft antennas, and more. Easy online ordering is at hamstation.com or call 1-800-729-4373 to place an order and talk it over with the experts. The Ham Station, proud to sponsor this episode of Ham Talk Live.
Let's have an eyeball QSO in Dayton. You're listening to Ham Talk Live with Neil Rapp.
Join the conversation. Call us on voice with Skype at Ham Talk Live or give us a call at 812-NET-HAM1. That's 812-638-4261. Now, here's more Ham Talk Live.
And welcome to Rock Minute with Ian St. Ian. Oh, wait a minute. That's the wrong show. Welcome back to Ham Talk Live. The Ham Station has you covered for both new and used equipment. Give Dan or Jeff a call. 800-729-4373 is the number to call. Or go over to hamstation.com and tell them you heard it on Ham Talk Live. Make sure you listen every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time right here at hamtalklive.com. Check out our Facebook page, Twitter feed, and Instagram. Just search Ham Talk Live. You'll find us there. Well, it's our game show music. Yes, it's time for our giveaway. And we've added a bonus to the call-in segment. We're giving away a Radiowavz DX80 off-center fed dipole, compliments of Radiowavz this week. We're giving away the DX80 to the first person to call into the show with the correct answer to this question. What song is generally regarded as the Spurious Emissions Band's signature song, which was the song we just played before the break? So now it's time for your calls. If you have a question for the Spurious Emissions Band, call 812-NET-HAM1. That's 812-638-4261. And if you know the name of the song, you could win one of those dipoles. Or you can Skype us at Ham Talk Live. You can do that as well. Or if you'd rather not play along but chime in, you can tweet us at Ham Talk Live. And tonight we have with us live from the band, Ward Silver N0AX on mandolin and Kirk Pickering K4RO on fiddle, mandolin, and banjo. So guys, thanks for coming on and being with us live tonight.
Good evening.
Glad to be here. Good evening.
So give us a call here. We've got another song we may play here in a little bit, but give us a call and ask some questions about the band and their concert coming up at Hamvention. And Saturday, I actually had a chance to drive over and was on Facebook Live and recorded the drive from the south side of Dayton over to the Greene County Fairgrounds. And so if you want to see what that looks like, go over to Facebook and get on the Ham Talk Live page, or put that over on YouTube as well, so you can see that. And we do have a caller, so let's see who we have on the line.
Well, good evening. This is W5MRR from Louisiana.
All right, and what's your first name?
Marvin.
Marvin. Okay, Marvin, W5MRR from Louisiana. Thanks for giving us a call. And do you know the name of the signature tune of the Spurious Emissions Band?
I know. I listened to it. Just tuned into the podcast just a bit ago. I just found your podcast about a week ago. So I'm not a long-time listener. I just thought I'd call in and find out, how long the guys have had their tickets, and if another thing is, did being musicians help you get your tickets? I know it did mine back in the CW days.
Yeah, I've noticed a definite correlation between that and the CW. So, Ward, do you want to start off, and then Kirk?
Sure. Well, I got my license in 72, and I think Scott got licensed in the early 80s, and Sean maybe in the mid-70s. What about you, Kirk?
I got my ticket in 1976.
So we're all about that same period.
Yeah, that's the same year I got mine.
Well, very good. Well, thanks, and you guys are doing a great job. I'd love to be able to make it to Dayton, but that's a long way from rural Louisiana.
Yeah, it is, but it's well worth it. Go ahead.
I'll take the second part of your question about music and radio, which I think is kind of an interesting question. It turns out there are quite a few musicians who are also ham radio nuts, including a few very well known ones like Joe Walsh, for example. I actually was into the radio thing before music. I really didn't start playing music. I guess I really started playing music probably within a year or two of getting my ham license, but the radio actually came first and has kind of been with me the whole time. I think that, the fact that music is a form of waves, of course, everything's waves to me, but, music and the fascination with how it's made and how it sounds and, how it's amplified and everything about it has a lot of parallels that dovetails nicely to the ham radio hobby. And I've also heard from more than one decent Morse code operator that being musically rhythmic can be helpful for learning Morse code.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A friend of my mentor, he used to send CW with a banjo. So anyway, I don't want to take up all the time, but guys, thanks again. Thanks for doing the podcast, and 73 to all from Louisiana.
See you, Marvin.
All right.
Thanks, Marvin. Thanks for calling in. Well, we've got the phones lighting up again, so we're going to open up the line now. So if you are trying to call, give us a call right now. It's 812-NET-HAM1, 812-638-4261, and we will take the next call here as soon as that comes up. 812-638-4261, and there we have our next call. So who do we have on the line now?
My name is Ruth, and my call sign is Cam4LAO.
Hi, Ruth. It's good to hear you. I'm glad you called in. So did you catch the signature tune of the band?
Yes, I did. I think it's the cover of the NCJ.
We have a winner.
We have a winner. That's it. Yes, the cover of the NCJ. So they're going to buy some copies for their mothers. So congratulations, Ruth. Thanks for calling in. Appreciate it. And do you have a question for the guys here tonight?
Not too much. I just wanted to call in. I enjoyed listening to the interview, and I can't wait to hear you all at Dayton.
Yeah, and Ruth's going to be speaking at the contest dinner, so that's going to be pretty cool. She's going to talk about her trip to Saba, and had a chance to interview her a few weeks ago for Newsline. So thanks for calling in, Ruth. Appreciate it, and best of luck with the talk at the dinner.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Meeting you.
We'll be looking for you. There's generally a crowd that comes over from the collegiate dinner and takes up a couple of tables up by stage right. So plow in there. We'll see you.
All right, sounds good. I'll see you all then.
Okay,
yep,
so-
and that's the DX dinner. Dr. Scott Wright straightened me out. It's the DX dinner, not the contest dinner, but it's the Southwest Ohio DX Association dinner. So. Mm-hmm. Got that right. All right. Well, 812-NET-HAM1 is the phone number, 812-638-4261. If you want to give us a call, we will take it. And we have a note here from Greg Marco, says, "Greetings, boys." So thanks for listening. And we've got another call. Oh, here comes the chicken with fries. Good evening, Marty.
Good evening, Neil. It's Marty, KC1CWF. Good evening, everybody.
Hi, Marty.
Hi.
Marty.
I have a question for y'all. And my question is, I might have missed this earlier, but I'll ask it. How do you guys come up with your ideas and lyrics for your songs?
Alcohol.
That always works well.
That was a joke. You'll have to ask the songmeister himself, Ward.
Oh, well, I tell you, it's just every once in a while a line just occurs to me, and when it occurs to me, I know I better go get on it. So sometimes I write them down in a little notebook, and I got one going today. I was working on one with Jeff Stye, WK6I out on the West Coast. He wanted me to do Dylan's Don't Think Twice, It's All Right, and then he got started and took a whack at it, and I need to sand it down a little bit, so we're going to go back and forth, and we got lots of stuff in the book, Marty.
Well, it's going to be exciting to see you perform in Dayton.
Excellent. Have you been to one of the shows before?
Yeah, I was there last year.
You were there last year. Okay, yeah.
Well, you've been before, and you're actually going to come back?
Yeah, I don't. It must have been. I don't know what sort of 3D glasses or something I was wearing, but
you have to pay your $5 to get out again.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. Free to get in, $5 to get out.
Best money move we ever made.
Probably more profitable.
Yeah, we got 9 new songs this year, Marty, so you won't have heard any of them before. It's good.
All right, well, thanks for taking my question.
Thanks for calling, Marty.
See you, Neil.
See you later. All right, we've got a couple of tweets here from Dr. Scott Wright, so we'll get those. Ward, he says, you're making the rounds on Ham Radio Media this week. Who's your booking agent, and what's coming up next?
Let's see. I should pay that guy more. I don't know. I think the next thing is actually Dayton. I've got a little downtime here and work on my practice. I've got a brand new instrument to play, and we'll see you in Dayton with it.
And he also wants to know for Kirk and for Ward, what's your favorite contest?
Go for it, Kirk.
Oh, boy. I'd probably have to say that the one that's closest to my heart is sweepstakes. I really love CQ Worldwide Code especially, but I tell you my favorite these days is getting on a couple of times a day on Wednesdays for the CW Ops 1 hour sessions. Those things are pure fun, so highly recommended.
Yeah, I'm going to have to
CWOps.org. Uh-oh, there's a plug.
Oh, Oh, we do plugs. That's all right.
They're a good group, and they're really doing a lot to promote CW, so I always like to give them a plug.
I'm going to give that a try as soon as I get done with the handbook edition, and I think I'm with Kirk. CW Sweepstakes has been my favorite for, the first year I got my license, I was active in that. But if you're at a big station, there's nothing better than CQ Worldwide CW.
All right. Thanks a lot for answering those. Dr. Scott Wright, K0MD, thanks for tweeting in. Yeah. Let me ask you here too. We've got about 2 minutes left here. So after we recorded that, you guys were going through all the songs. How did everything go? You got everything ready and picked out and ready to roll?
Well, Kirk, go ahead.
Well, there were no fights, no hospitalization was required. So I think it actually was pretty productive. There's a lot of new material, particularly that I'm just not really used to playing certain styles, so I'm going to have to buckle down. I think it'll be a good, fun set, and the fact that we were able to crank out so many new songs in such a short period of time was nice. We've been doing this a while. I don't know how many years we've been doing it now, but I think we might, dare I say, starting to be able to get the hang of it. But it is important, I think, that we get together in person to work things out and see how they go. Because as Ward or someone mentioned in the initial interview, we don't know whether a tune is going to work until we try to play it together. Sometimes things sound good on paper, and then we sit down and try to play it, and it's a disaster. So. And then oftentimes there are great surprises that come out of nowhere, too, that when we get together. So.
It's true. I found out that I cannot sing anything ever done by Marvin Gaye. But but they tolerated it. Maybe if I did the Barry White version, it'd be okay. But, it's like, we get together and we got a fistful of lyrics and mostly the right chords, and then we all have to kind of know it. This will be, I think, the 16th time we've played together. It's 8 years of concerts, and we typically only have one little session beforehand. We've been actually getting together to rehearse for a weekend, and that's a real hoot the last few years. And then we just kind of touch it up a little bit on Thursday night, and then Friday we jump into the blender and see what comes out. So it's so far everybody's laughed at mostly the right places, and we're happy.
Well, we're laughing and we're enjoying it here, and I'd hoped to play Climber John, but we're out of time tonight, so we may sneak in just a little bit at the end here if we have time. But that's a wrap for this week's Ham Talk Live. Thanks, guys, for coming on, the Spurious Emissions Band, and everyone out there in cyberspace for listening and calling in, and we'll invite you back next Thursday night at 9 p.m. when Michael Coulter, WHCI, the official spokesperson for the Dayton Hamvention, and Ron Kramer, KD8ENJ, will be here, the chairman, to talk about the latest updates from the Dayton Hamvention. And for a list of all of our upcoming guests, visit hamtalklive.com. So for now, this is Neil Rapp, WB9VPG, saying 7375, and may the good DX be yours. And we'll send you out with a little bit of Climber John.
All right, here we go. This one's dedicated to all of the tower climbers.